Drivers parking in downtown Madison this weekend may experience a bit of sticker shock. For the first time in 2 years, prices are going up at garage and lots citywide.
For the first time in 18 years, a North Korean official, high-ranking one, is going to visit the White House. We'll have an update on ongoing talks to save the summit between Kim Jong-un and President Trump.
And a Midwestern archdiocese will pay hundreds of millions of dollars in one of the largest sex abuse settlements in history.
This is News 3 This Morning.
Good morning and welcome to News 3 This Morning, 6 o'clock now on this Friday, June 1st.
It's going to be a nice day.
It's going to be beautiful out there.
We have killed a mosquito here in the
He's
studio.
very proud of this.
And it was a quick smack. Danica thought I was, just...
You can't even be outside for 5 minutes.
Without getting...
Yeah, they're everywhere. All that rain in May has led to a bumper crop.
You mean the second most rain in history?
Yeah, it was still a lot, though, anyway you look at it. As Pam Yonke would say, the state bird.
The state bird.
The unofficial state bird is the mosquito. Here's a live look from the WISC-TV Skycam here in Madison. We've had some clouds a little bit earlier, but now a great view of the sun. Expect a period of cloudiness today as a cold front moves through the area. Wanted to show you this graphic. This is the Milwaukee temperature over the last 24 hours.
Wow.
And you don't have to have a degree in meteorology to see when that cold front moved through. They dropped from the low 70s.
There 4:45 in the morning there, Hattie McLean, it looks like to me.
Mid-50s. Yeah, that cold front is moving down the lakeshore a little bit more quickly than it is here in Madison, but it will move through the area. We're at 66 here in Madison, but you can see that colder air, 53 in Sheboygan, 54 in Milwaukee, 64 on the other side of the state in Prairie du Chien. Our temperatures will stay in the 70s today. We're looking at a high of 76 later on this afternoon. Northeasterly wind will usher in some drier weather as well, so lower humidity is expected. A look at your first alert traffic this morning. No major accidents to report right now. Just a few brake lights showing up on the Beltline around Stoughton Road as well as Park Street. Otherwise, if you're headed into Madison, you're still traveling at posted speeds, which for the interstate is a really good thing.
Yeah, no kidding. We've had quite a few. We're about to talk about this in a few minutes, but quite a few accidents on that major thoroughfare over the last week or so.
It's got the sign, road work 43 miles. It's 43 miles. It's just a bear.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yes, yes it is. Thank you, Hattie.
You're welcome.
We start this half hour in Washington, where a senior North Korean official is going to go into the White House for the first time in nearly 20 years. That North Korean diplomat's going to hand deliver a letter from his leader, Kim Jong-un, to President Trump. He has spent the past 2 days meeting with Secretary of State Mike Pompeo in New York, trying to get that June 12th nuclear summit between the U.S. and North Korea back on track. A sticking point in the talks remains the question of just how willing North Korea is to commit to complete denuclearization. The last time a North Korean official, a senior one at least, made a White House visit was back in 2000. During the Clinton administration.
Wisconsin's Democrats are getting together in Oshkosh this morning for the start of their state party convention. It comes as Democrats here try to keep up the momentum in what Governor Walker is calling a blue wave as they try to take back control at both the state and federal level. 10 candidates for governor were able to collect enough signatures to get on the primary ballot and earn the right to speak at the convention tonight. Lieutenant governor and congressional candidates will speak to delegates tomorrow morning. The state's Republican Party held its convention in Milwaukee earlier this month. And today is the deadline for any candidate hoping to get on the ballot for this year to file their nomination papers. Those have to be into the Wisconsin Elections Commission by 5 o'clock this afternoon. The deadline to challenge the signatures candidates collected is on Monday. Because the two deadlines are separated by a weekend, the Elections Commission office is going to stay open late until 7 o'clock tonight and be open tomorrow from 9 to 1 to give people a fair chance to file challenges. The commission will consider challenges and approve the ballot for the August primary at its next meeting later this month.
The Archdiocese in the Twin Cities says it will move quickly to send hundreds of millions of dollars now to victims of clergy sexual abuse. The church agreed to pay $210 million to sex abuse victims as part of its reorganization plan after filing for bankruptcy. Minnesota state lawmakers opened up a 3-year window in 2013 that allowed alleged victims of prior sexual abuse to sue the Archdiocese for damages. That led to a total of 450 claims being filed, and the church ended up filing for bankruptcy in 2015.
There's a sad update to share this morning about a missing woman here in Wisconsin we told you about earlier this week. The Grant County Sheriff's Department says authorities did find 58-year-old Patricia Hartline dead in the driver's seat of her car. The Fenimore woman had not been seen since May 2nd. A farmer spotted her car in the town of Millville. Deputies say there are no signs of foul play in her death. We'll be sure to update you on the autopsy results in this case over on channel3000.com.
Madison police detectives now believe they have in custody the man they think shot somebody on State Street last week. 28-year-old Derek Page has been in custody since the day after the shooting, but was only formally charged yesterday with 2 felonies related to that crime. Police say Page and the 36-year-old victim knew one another and had been arguing before that shooting. Happened last Wednesday in an apartment above Whiskey Jack's on State Street. The victim was shot twice, once in the head, once in the arm, but he is expected to be okay.
So as DOT crews prepare to close more roads around the interstate for construction next week, there continue to be crashes along I-39/90, and now project managers are looking at changing the way that work is being done. There have been 3 crashes along the interstate between Madison and Beloit within the last week. The latest one was yesterday. A semi involved in that accident caught fire, closing all northbound lanes south of Janesville. On Wednesday, cars were backed up for miles for several hours southeast of Madison as emergency responders cleared a 7-vehicle crash there. Then last Saturday morning, 6 cars were involved in a crash that closed all northbound lanes of the highway near Stoughton. The DOT is now reviewing construction going on in that area. In the meantime, they're asking drivers to give trucks in particular some extra room to avoid more pile-up situations. 6:06 right now, and drivers parking in downtown Madison this weekend will pay higher prices for the first time in 2 years.
Not all of the price hikes, though, at the city's lots and garages are going to be the same. There are actually some strategy behind this policy. News 3's Christina Laurie joins us this morning from the city's most expensive lot to explain. Good morning.
Good morning, Anna and Danica. Brayton Lot here in East Washington has been the priciest place in town to park for the past 2 years. And after the latest round of price hikes, it retains that title. Those price hikes went into effect overnight. The Cities of Madison's Parking Commission says it raises prices to balance parking garage occupancy across the city. The busiest garages will have the highest rates, strategically targeted to shift demand from higher demand facilities to those with lower occupancy. Because rates are not increasing at all facilities and the city's parking meter system will not be impacted, Sabrina Tolley, the assistant parking utility manager for the city, says she anticipates a shift in use between higher and lower rate facilities, but no significant change in system-wide use. Tolley tells News 3 the purpose of shifting and balancing demand is to provide reliability of available parking at all facilities so that residents and visitors can expect to find a parking space at any facility, even during peak demand hours. Now, these recent rate hikes are expected to generate an additional $650,000 for the city of Madison. But despite that, not everyone is on board. Coming up in the next hour of News 3 this morning, next half hour rather of News 3 this morning, we'll hear from the lone alder who casted a no vote on this latest price hike.
I have a feeling he's probably pretty popular in his district. All right, Christina Laurie, thank you so much. So some of the folks that are going to be paying those increased prices are going downtown as we look at a first alert traffic alert for this weekend because of the Ride the Drive event. It is going down, and it's going to be shutting down John Nolan Drive from Owen Park to Law Park on Sunday between 9:30 and 4 in the afternoon. Traffic on North Shore Drive at Brigham Park is also going to be closed. Now, this is the 10th year for Ride the Drive. It draws thousands of bicyclists to John Nolan Drive and the nearby parks right there, but it almost didn't happen. Trek Bicycles a couple years ago, you may remember, pulled out after paying $30,000 to sponsor the event. The city, or at least half of the event, the city was unsure if it would have the money to keep sponsoring the ride. While the road closures start earlier on Sunday, the biking itself starts at 11 o'clock Sunday morning. We're going to talk with one of the organizers of this year's Ride the Drive on News 3 at noon.
Your time on this Friday morning is 6:09, and there are a few smaller films launching this weekend after big budget movies like Solo, Deadpool 2, and Avengers Infinity War already came out this spring. Coming up, movie critic Will Loper is going to preview the film that looks at what happens after your dream sailing vacation is ruined by one of the worst hurricanes in history. I hate when that happens, and you're left adrift.
No severe weather for us today. Hattie says we're looking at a really nice day without much humidity and temperatures getting back to normal. She is looking, though, at some rain, or at least a chance of it, heading our way this weekend. Her first alert forecast is next on News 3 this morning.
Good morning from the Hattie-O patio. A warm and somewhat muggy start still here in Madison, but cooler temperatures are on the way for today. Let's take a look at our high temps yesterday. It's definitely not going to be this warm today. Yesterday we had a high of 85 in Madison, 90 in Janesville, 83 in Platteville, and 87 in Bosqueville. Even Milwaukee topped at 89 degrees. Temperatures will likely stay in the 70s. We closed the book on the month of May yesterday, and here's where it stacks up. We're in 8th place for warmest May ever in southern Wisconsin, with an average temperature of 64.2 degrees. Now, as we look ahead to June, June's a pretty warm month for us. Our record high for the month set back on June 20th. It was 101 degrees, so it can really heat up in the month of June. Normal highs, though, are in the mid-70s right now, climbing into the low 80s by the end of the month. Typically a pretty wet month for us as well, with about 4.5 inches of rain. No rain showing up on the satellite and radar map early this morning. There are some clouds to the northeast, but it's pretty tough to pick them out on the map this morning. They're pretty low in the atmosphere. Our satellite and radar view from a wider perspective showing you pretty quiet conditions out to our west, though. The view from the WISC-TV Skycam is great this morning. The sun is up. It is 66 here in Madison and Platteville, 64 in Prairie du Chien, and 64 in the Dells. Noticeably cooler along the lake, and those cool temperatures are starting to work their way inland. Waukesha has now dropped to 57 degrees. It's 54 in Milwaukee. Dew points are high as well for most of our viewing area, but good news. Dew points are expected to drop back as we go through the day and then hover right around 60 through the afternoon, so it should feel much more comfortable today. Future Track is doing a pretty good job showing you the cloud cover to the north and east, how it spreads into our viewing area as we head towards the 8 o'clock hour. So expect a period of cloudiness, but those clouds will dissipate as we head towards the afternoon with plenty of clearing. Highs in the mid-70s here, a little bit warmer as you head to the Mississippi River Valley. Here's a look at your forecast then for tonight. No rain in the forecast tonight, and most of Saturday will be dry as well. Rain expected here in Madison probably after dark when a cold front moves through the region. A look at your extended forecast and precipitation amounts. It could be anywhere from a ½ an inch to a little over an inch of rain by early Sunday morning. Our extended forecast, though, calls for very pleasant conditions temperature-wise for the rest of the weekend, and then we hover around 80 as we head into next week. Now let's get a look at your first alert traffic with Jason Ryan this morning. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning. So far on this Friday morning, the Beltline is clear of delays for your drive. There's nothing in either direction to slow you down anywhere. Looking around Dane County, we see nothing when it comes to delays on the interstate and highways in and out of Madison. No delays at all on the big roads around the county. Looking downtown, it's pretty quiet for a Friday. No delays at the moment, but as always, watch out for construction areas and workers who are out. Overall, you'll have an easy ride this morning as there are no delays coming in or going out of Madison. With First Alert Traffic, I'm Jason Ryan.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Hattie. It is 6:15 right now. Nobody wants to find themselves stuck on a boat in the middle of the ocean when a storm hits, right?
No.
I mean, it's a theme that's been the basis of a number of movies over the years, including one that is out this weekend.
It's another one, unfortunately, based on a true story. Our movie critic Will Loper has a preview of Adrift.
Hurricane Raymond has been upgraded to a Category 5.
Should we be worried? Mayday! This is the sailing Amazonas, you copy!
I love you.
Get below! I'm not leaving you!
Get below now!
Oh my god!
Shailene Woodley and Sam Claflin star as avid sailors who become shipwrecked in the middle of the Pacific Ocean and must find a way to land.
Does anyone copy? No!
Adrift is rated PG-13.
Richard! Oh my god, you're alive! We're not gonna die out here.
Wow.
Yeah, that's intense. Be sure to tune in to Live at 4 on Monday when Will give his review of Adrift.
Just don't go out on the ocean when there's a hurricane.
No.
In the middle of hurricane season, I'm just saying.
Duly noted.
Yes, 6:17 right now. A former Badger running back, once known for breaking tackles and monster performances in big games, now wants to be known as a mental health advocate. Coming up, we'll share how Monty Ball wants to do something good for UW current student athletes.
Patty is watching the radar this morning to let you know if and when we might see some rain tomorrow afternoon. She is updating the forecast next on News 3 this morning.
Good morning, I'm meteorologist Hattie McLean. We have a little bit of fog developing across parts of the viewing area in those typical low-lying spots, river valleys, for example. The Wisconsin River Valley is noting some fog near Boscobel with quarter-mile visibility. Recently, some improvement in Prairie du Chien, back up to 5-mile visibility there. Just a half-mile, though, in Camp Douglas. A little bit of fog as well as you head towards the lakeshore in Milwaukee, where temperatures are cooler. It is 54 in Milwaukee this morning, 66 here in Madison and Platteville, as well as the Dells. Your bus stop weather forecast calls for a pleasant start to the day. Temperatures will likely drop a little bit over the next hour or so here in Madison to around 60 degrees. Some clouds through the mid-morning hours, but then sunshine this afternoon with highs in the middle 70s. Have a wonderful day.
Hattie, thank you so much. It is 6:21 right now, and a growing number of big-time athletes and coaches are opening up about their mental health and the help that they're actually seeking out.
One of those players is Monty Ball. He set the all-time NCAA record, of course, for touchdowns here as a Badger, but his pro career wasn't nearly as successful. Injuries, legal issues, and a struggle with mental health brought an early end to his playing career. Now, though, he is working to raise money for mental health services for UW student athletes through the Monty Ball Fund, and he hopes his story can inspire others to get the help they need.
And that's why I wanted to go this route and have the platform to tell people it's okay. If there's something you're struggling with, it's fine. Just reach out to somebody and receive the help that you need.
Ball's former teammate Chris Borland also had a short NFL career. He retired after one season because he was worried about head injuries and how they might affect his future mental health. He is now working alongside his former teammate Monty Ball again in this new effort. Friday, June 15th, Melvin Gordon, Jared Abbrederis, John Stocco, Aaron Gibson, and a number of other former Badger football players are going to swing for recovery at the Bridges Golf Course to benefit the Monty Ball Fund. It starts at 10 o'clock.
I absolutely love that story. And if you want to start a conversation with your family about mental health, we have a number of stories and resources posted on our Time for Kids, Time to Talk page. That includes weekly tips and advice from SSM health experts. You can find that at channel3000.com/time for kids.
We're just saying the Cleveland Cavaliers head coach admitted taking time off during the season this year. I mean, they're playing the NBA Finals. He had to get treated for anxiety.
A number of professional players doing the same, coming out and saying that they need help too.
It's good to talk about it.
Absolutely.
6:23 right now. The day's top stories are next, including the latest on the drunk driving suspect who crashed into a school bus last month.
And there's talk that Wisconsin's most famous airline in history could be coming back. Could be great news for warm chocolate chip cookie lovers, and who isn't? The news is back in the morning on News 3 this morning.
Starting today, it'll cost you more to park in downtown Madison, a change that is expected to bring more than $500,000 in revenue to the city. But still, not everyone is on board.
This is News 3 This Morning.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the final half hour of News 3 this morning, 6:27 on this Friday, June 1st. Right around now, 11 years ago, my daughter Harper Schrager was being born.
There you go.
Happy birthday, kiddo.
Happy birthday to Harper, and she's getting a heck of a birthday present from Hattie McLean. It is going to be gorgeous out there today. Hattie is out on her patio. How's it going so far, Hattie?
Not bad, and happy birthday to Harper. It's going to be a beautiful day today. Feels a little bit muggy outside this morning, but with a cold front moving through the area as we speak, I expect those humidity levels to drop. Take a live look outside this morning. Here is our Skycam shot at the station. Looking to the east, you can see a little bit of cloud cover far on the horizon. There are some clouds to our north and east, and they're expected to move into the area through the middle of the morning. This is what it looks like in Platteville, though. Beautiful start there. Not a lot of cloud cover in Platteville. Temperature is 66 here in Platteville and in Madison, as well as Janesville and the Dells. Noticeably cooler along the lakeshore areas, though. 54 this morning in Milwaukee. Our dew points are still in the mid-60s, but they'll be dropping through the day today. Take a look at your day planner temperatures. With some clouds this morning, temperatures will be slow to warm through the 60s. Sunshine, though, for the afternoon with a high of 76 degrees. So lower humidity and cooler temperatures today. Look at the traffic conditions this morning. Still pretty quiet around the area. Some slowdowns on Stoughton Road as you approach the Beltline, but otherwise things looking pretty good. No accidents to report in the surrounding communities either. So you're still going at posted speeds heading into Madison.
Thank you very much, Hattie. We start the news this half hour in Columbia County, where we are expecting the first appearance this afternoon for the semi-truck driver who reportedly crashed into a school bus on the interstate late last week. We're talking about Wayne Murphy, who was booked into the Columbia County Jail on tentative charges of drunk driving. A total of 19 Milwaukee area middle school students were hurt in that crash, including one who was critically injured. We're going to update Murphy's bail conditions right around 3 o'clock. On channel3000.com.
One of the men accused of killing a man during a drug deal in Fitchburg, that is expected in court today for the last time before he goes to trial in a few weeks. 19-year-old Trayvon Jackson, 18-year-old Gary Mays, and 17-year-old Joshua McInnes all face charges in connection with the murder of 20-year-old Julian Patterson. Now, prosecutors say the three men shot Patterson at an apartment complex off Verona Road in March. Jackson's lawyer and prosecutors are now working out the final details before his trial starts in 3 weeks. That is set to happen today. Mays and McInnes are also expected to go to trial later this summer.
A Wisconsin Dells man accused of robbing a bank in the area is going to be back in court today as well. Prosecutors and defense lawyers are working through the details surrounding Alex Melton's case. Detectives say the 30-year-old robbed the Bank of Sun Prairie last fall and that his facial tattoos helped bank workers identify him. Court records also indicate that Melton left the keys to his car on the teller's window. Melton has pleaded not guilty. He's expected to go to trial later this summer.
The Madison man accused of raping a 14-year-old is expected in court today for one of the last times before he goes to trial later this summer. 30-year-old Prakash Biswa is charged with 2 felonies that carry more than 60-year prison sentences if he's convicted. The victim told detectives she was raped at his home last summer with her teenage sister upstairs at the time. She said she did not scream because he was choking her and threatening her. Court records indicate she only told authorities because she found out later that she was pregnant. Biswa's jury trial is set for August.
6:30 right now. There are new efforts to get an old Wisconsin airline back off the ground. We're talking about Midwest Express. Hasn't flown in almost 10 years when it was bought by and merged into Frontier Airlines. But those warm in-flight chocolate chip cookies could be making a comeback. State Journal says 2 private investors have contributed $750,000 to get Midwest flying again. The company is not saying how much money it would need to fly commercially once more, but the investors are targeting 2020 as the year to relaunch.
6:31 right now, and new downtown parking price hikes go into effect today, with most city-operated lots raising prices about a quarter.
So the change is expected to bring more than $500,000 in additional money to the city of Madison, but not all city leaders are supportive of this. News 3's Christina Laurie joins us from the city's priciest parking lot with the details. Good morning.
The Brayton lot here on East Wash is getting busier by the minute here this morning, and as drivers pull in, they're seeing an increase. The sign still says $1.80 an hour, but now they'll be charged $2 an hour. It's an increase that alders voted on, the city's parking commission voted on back in March, but not everyone was on board. Alder David Ahrens cast the lone no vote back when that decision was made. He tells News 3 that he believes the increase was excessive, adding that price increases should be lower and more frequent than big increases every 2 or 3 years. Ahrens believes this will become a trend and drivers should expect parking increases like these to happen every couple of years. Starting today, the State Street campus garage rate will increase by 20 cents as well, and the State Street Capitol garage will increase by 30 to $1.20 an hour. The rate hikes are expected to generate approximately $650,000 in additional annual revenue for the city of Madison. That money will go to the city's reserve fund balances to pay for future projects. The City of Madison's Parking Commission expects to see a shift in usage between higher and lower rate facilities, which they hope will make it easier for residents and visitors to find a parking space at any facility, even during peak demand hours. Now, rates at the city's parking meters will stay the same, but there's another proposal on the table to raise the price of street parking in town. Madison officials are now considering an increase in that price from $28 to $42, almost double every year, just to pay to enforce that program. And that's something that is already causing a lot of residents to speak out.
As I was telling Christina, my neighborhood is on fire over this. So if approved, the $42 price would go into effect when the new permit year starts on September 1st. Christina Laurie from near downtown this morning. Thank you so much.
6:33 right now, and an area high school is going to start construction this morning on a new state-of-the-art performing arts center. Edgewood High School's $9.2 million facility will be the central location for the school's award-winning performing arts programs. It will include a 465-seat theater, band and choir rooms, a piano lab, and classrooms. The project's being paid for by alumni and parent donations. It should be finished up by next spring.
Program at the YMCA to keep kids, teenagers in particular, off the streets and out of trouble starts up again tonight. We're talking about Friday nights at the Y. It's back for its 4th summer now. The goal of the program is to provide a safe space and positive role models for teenagers while offering basketball, swimming, other sports and games as part of the program. The Y works with police and fire departments in Madison and Sun Prairie to help kids build those positive relationships, specifically with police officers and firefighters. This program is free. Kids do not need a Y membership to participate. Starts at 8 o'clock tonight, runs until 11 o'clock at both the East and the West YMCAs here in Madison. The program starts June 15th at the Y in Sun Prairie.
So I'm surprised my friend here on the desk with me did not take the morning off to celebrate not his daughter Harper's birthday, but National Donut Day.
2 reasons to celebrate.
Exactly. Travelocity is marking the holiday by naming the top donut shop in each state, and in Wisconsin, it's Paoli's Bakery in Kenosha. That shop has been around since 1923. Travelocity called Kenosha a donut mecca with several tasty bakeries. Do I sense a drive for you this morning?
I usually just get stuck in Racine getting Kringle. I mean, like, you know, you're on the way down there, on the way down. Yeah, I mean, like, it's difficult to hit both places.
Mecca, apparently. There you have it. All right, 6:35 right now, and Wisconsin farmers are watching closely as some of the state's biggest foreign trade partners prepare to impose tariffs on American-made products. We'll share the latest in the morning sprint.
And he's already known as the MVP in the franchise, but this Mr. Rogers is now Dr. Rogers, thanks to his work with kids fighting cancer. We'll share the details next on News 3 this morning. It cleans up nicely. Welcome back. It is 6:38 now on this Friday morning, June 1st, time of the morning that we always ask you to share a little bit of your morning with us. And we wanted to thank Jim Bradley for this beautiful picture on Facebook. I have been, Danica is reminding me, picking a lot of tight shots of flowers lately. I just love the colors this time of year before everything wilts and it gets, 95 degrees and super dry out there. So thank you, Jim. It looks great.
Yeah. What does your morning look like? Maybe it's a flower, a cup of coffee, a puppy, whatever it is. Share it on our Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram, whatever you do. Please use that hashtag MyNews3Morning so we can find it. We always share our favorites here on the program.
Aaron Rodgers is an MVP, a Super Bowl winner, and might now demand he is called doctor in the huddle this season.
I certainly hope not. The franchise quarterback did get an honorary doctoral degree from the Medical College of Wisconsin yesterday for his commitment to end childhood cancer. Rodgers has partnered with the Midwest Athletes Against Childhood Cancer Fund, or the MAC Fund, since he started playing in Green Bay. Rodgers' work has helped that fund raise $3 million for research the school says has impacted thousands of cancer patients. And this you're seeing here is the other Packer being recognized for his kindness. Running back Aaron Jones is going viral after someone snapped a photo of him helping this older woman through the airport. Jones says he was flying into Appleton for the next round of Packers OTAs when he noticed the woman struggling with her cane and her bags. So he helped carry her bags off the plane and then pushed her through the airport in a wheelchair to meet her daughter, who was picking her up. He says he didn't even know anyone got a picture of it until he got home and saw Twitter mentions blowing up. The original tweet has now been retweeted almost 4,000 times.
The woman apparently told him, I read this story yesterday, the woman told him, I wish my husband had been here to see this.
Awesome.
I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, 6:40 right now. It's always great when the best forecast of the week comes on a day you actually get to enjoy it. Humidity's going away. We're looking at temperatures 10 degrees cooler than yesterday. Addie's sharing the possibility of some rain, though, this weekend. Her first look forecast is up next.
That lake looks so inviting. First, though, it is June 1st. We want to say happy birthday to Madison, Henry, Sawyer, and all the kiddos turning 3 out there today. Thank you for letting us help you celebrate, and thank you for watching News 3 This Morning.
We are taking a live look outside right now, courtesy of the WISC-TV Skycam. Going to be the best day of the week weather-wise with cooler temperatures, lower humidity. Hattie's looking ahead to the weekend here in a minute or so. So we are hoping it's going to be nice enough this weekend to get out and enjoy Wisconsin's state parks and trails.
Yeah, fishing. Wow, just made up a new sport there. Fishing, hiking, and biking in state parks. It is Friday, folks, on state trails, as well as free over the next couple days. The Free Fun Weekend is designed to get more people active in some of Wisconsin's most beautiful areas. So tomorrow and Sunday, you don't need a fishing license out on the water, and trail and park fees will be waived at state parks. There will also be a number of free fishing clinics, not fishing, teaching kids how to fish. You can find the details over on the DNR's website. Should also be nice this weekend for a community festival that's been a tradition now for more than 40 years. Verona Hometown Days starts today, runs through Sunday. For the last 46 years, that festival has offered music, food, and fun family activities, while also serving as a fundraiser for area nonprofits. You can find a full list of events at veronahometowndays.com.
It's not the only festival happening in the area this weekend. Festa Italia starts in Fitchburg today. The three-day celebration of Italian food, family, and culture is held at McKee Family Farms Park. The festivities go from 4:30 to 11 tonight, from 11 to 11 tomorrow, and 11 to 7 on Sunday. It'll cost $3 to get in. Parking, though, is free. Gary Canulti is going to be live at Festa Italia during News 3 this morning. On Saturday, Hattie McLean, everyone wants to know what's this weekend going to look like weather-wise.
Yeah, no word whether or not they're doing fishing at Festa Italia, but there will be pasta, lots of pasta. Here's the forecast for Festa Italia this weekend at McKee Farms Park. 76 today. Partly sunny skies to mostly sunny skies later on this afternoon, so plenty of sunshine, no rain in the forecast. In Fitchburg, the rain should hold off until after dark on Saturday, but for the late evening festivities, keep in mind there may be some showers or thunderstorms moving through. Then we return to dry weather and very comfortable conditions on Sunday. If Ride the Drive is more your speed, that's taking place on Sunday as well, and the weather forecast looks absolutely gorgeous for that. Downtown Madison, we're looking at lots of sunshine on Sunday. 10 o'clock, if you head out in the morning, temperatures will be in the mid-60s, highs in the low 70s. Perfect biking temperatures, low humidity as well. A live look from the WISC-TV Skycam this morning. We do have clear skies here. Some cloud cover that you can see in the distance, though. There is a low deck of clouds that is moving in this direction. Here's our visible cloud track, and you can see anywhere that it's lighter color, that is cloud cover, and these clouds are shifting southwest with time. So we will see some clouds yet this morning. They'll clear, though, for the afternoon as this front pulls off to the east. Very quiet conditions for the start of the upcoming weekend. Here's our next weather maker. It's a low pressure system in the northern plains with a cold front, and that storm system will advance eastward over the weekend, again arriving in the area late Saturday. So best chances for rain coming Saturday evening into the early overnight hours. High pressure then building in for Sunday. Let's take a look at temperatures across our area. We're in the 60s this morning, still 66 here in Madison, 67 in the Dells, 68 in Mineral Point. It is noticeably cooler under that cloud cover to the east, temperatures in the 50s along the lakeshore. Your pinpoint city forecast highs today, pretty comfortable if you ask me. Temperature is 76 today in New Glarus, 76 in Stoughton, and 73 in Watertown. There will be some clearing for the afternoon, so plenty of sunshine is expected. The forecast then for areas of the west, a little bit warmer as you go towards the Mississippi River Valley, 77 in Prairie du Chien as well as Platteville, and to the north mid-70s in Mauston as well as Adams. Here in Madison, we're looking at temperatures that will climb to a high of 76 today. We're looking at a chance for rain late tomorrow, again probably after dark for most of the area. West of Madison, especially towards the Mississippi River Valley, might be a little bit earlier. Otherwise quiet for the second part of the weekend and the start of the next work week. Here is a cat that is really not, this doesn't care about the forecast, Jasper. Enjoying a Sunday. I have a feeling that's every day for Jasper.
Yes.
It's a pretty nice, comfortable blanket, it looks like, for Jasper.
I think so.
All right.
Are those Cubs colors?
No, it's like Bears colors.
Yes,
actually.
it does.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Hans.
You're welcome.
Morning Sprint's coming up next. Thank you so much for watching News 3 this morning. Almost 6:52, time now for the morning sprint. Hattie has the details on what should be a beautiful weekend to be outside, maybe to head downtown, but it will cost you more to park there. Christina Laurie will share more in a moment.
But first, we start in Washington, where for the first time in almost 20 years, a senior North Korean official is going to visit the White House personally to deliver a message to President Trump from his leader, Kim Jong-un. Diplomats from both countries are trying to save the currently canceled summit between the two leaders, originally set for June 12th. The negotiations with Secretary of State Mike Pompeo are struggling over plans to completely denuclearize North Korea.
Q106 Farm Director Pam Yankee says new tariffs could affect Wisconsin cheese, maple syrup, and cranberries. President Trump's taxes on imported steel and aluminum are officially in effect this morning. Wisconsin's biggest foreign trade partners, Canada and Mexico, as well as countries in Europe, say that they will respond with billions of dollars worth of tariffs on U.S. goods. Overnight trade on Wall Street is up slightly after the Dow fell about 250 points yesterday over concerns of a global trade war.
Wisconsin's Democrats are gathering in Oshkosh today for the start of their state party convention. It comes as Democrats try to keep up the momentum in what Governor Walker called a blue wave sweeping the country and state. 10 Democratic candidates for governor were able to collect enough signatures to get on the primary ballot and earn the right to speak at the convention. Tonight, the state's Republican Party held its convention in Milwaukee earlier this month.
The DOT is reviewing construction zones along the interstate this morning after at least 3 significant crashes between Madison and Beloit in the last week. The latest accident happened yesterday. All northbound lanes of I-3990 were closed south of Janesville after a semi-truck caught fire. The other 2 involved at least 6 cars. The DOT is asking drivers to give semis a little extra room to try and prevent more pile-up accidents in these construction areas.
Starting today, the city of Madison is increasing the price you'll pay to park at city-owned parking garages and lots. It's the first time they're doing so in more than 2 years. Only city-owned garages and lots will be impacted, while parking meter rates will stay the same. Prices will generally increase between 20 and 30 cents depending on the lot. Monthly permit prices will also go up by $20 a month. The move is expected to generate an additional $650,000 in revenue for the city. The Transit and Parking Commission approved those changes back in March.
And our forecast for today calls for some clouds moving in this morning, but cooler temperatures. We are starting in the mid-60s here across southern Wisconsin. Our temperatures over the next 12 hours will stay fairly steady through the morning in the 60s, but then climb into the mid-70s later on this afternoon with plenty of sunshine.
Thank you, Hattie. The Archdiocese in the Twin Cities says it will work quickly to send hundreds of millions of dollars to victims of clergy sexual abuse. The church agreed to pay $210 million to sex abuse victims as part of its reorganization plan after filing for bankruptcy. Minnesota state lawmakers opened up a 3-year window back in 2013 that allowed alleged victims of prior abuse to sue the Archdiocese for damages. That led to a total of 450 claims being filed in bankruptcy that came shortly thereafter.
A former Wisconsin detective faces criminal charges himself for allegedly leaking information to a reality television show. Steve Bowers is accused of sharing confidential information regarding 2 unsolved murder cases in Taylor County to that show. Bowers says he recognizes he should have asked for permission in releasing the files, but that he was trying to help the victims' families in these cases. He has since been demoted twice from detective sergeant to maintenance duty and is now on paid administrative leave. Bowers is due back in court at the end of June to find out if his case will head to trial.
We're expecting the first appearance in Columbia County Court this afternoon for the semi-truck driver reportedly crashed into a school bus on the interstate. Wayne Murphy was booked late last week on tentative charges of drunk driving. A total of 19 Milwaukee middle school students were hurt in that crash, including one of them who was critically injured.
Wisconsin's most famous airline could return to the skies in a couple of years. The State Journal's reporting 2 private investors have contributed $750,000 to bring back Midwest Express. The company isn't saying how much money it would need to fly commercially again and bring those chocolate chip cookies back to the skies, but the investors are targeting 2020 as the year to relaunch.
You're not going to be able to drive on John Nolan Drive later this weekend, but you will be allowed to ride. The 10th annual Ride the Drive shutting down traffic on John Nolan from Owen Park to Law Park. Between 9:30 and 4 o'clock on Sunday, traffic on North Shore Drive at Brittingham Park is also going to be closed. The biking itself starts at 11 o'clock on Sunday morning. We're going to talk with one of the organizers of this year's Ride the Drive on News 3 at noon. Speaking of traffic, it's 6:56 right now. Jason Ryan is in for Josh Tim. He joins us with a final look at your First Alert Traffic. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning. The Beltline is still clear of delays. No problem in either direction for your morning drive. Looking downtown, West Wash is a small backup on Regent. Broome Street is going slow. East Wash held up at Blair. Your drive times still on average this morning around town. No delays slowing you down, but be aware, especially in construction zones in and out of the city. With First Alert Traffic, I'm Jason Ryan.
Thanks, Jason. Have a good weekend.
All right, you too.
And the view this morning is beautiful from the Edgewater Skycam, looking out over Lake Mendota and downtown Madison. We have sunshine right now. There will be some clouds moving in, though, for the middle of the morning. Then back to sunshine this afternoon with high temperatures in the mid-70s. Here's a peek at that weekend forecast as well. Just a chance for rain late Saturday, but overall very comfortable conditions. 20 to 25 degrees cooler than last weekend.
Great weather for hometown days in Verona, Festa Italia. A lot going on this weekend. You can keep track of all of it and the weather coming up.
Making plans that are weather dependent? Get an accurate 12-hour, even a 10-day forecast. Download the Channel 3000 First Alert Weather app and start planning.